Okay, good.
But in terms of external access, we don't have that.
We don't know.
Nice job.
Good evening. Welcome to the Gualala Municipal Advisory Council meeting on Thursday, August 6th, 2026. Called meeting to order at 6:07 p.m. Councilmember Spock, would you take attendance?
Certainly. Councilmember Everett,
Here.
Councilmember Lewis,
Here.
Councilmember Mayor,
Here.
Councilmember Jungling,
Here.
Councilmember, I guess I'm just losing my last names, Evans,
Secretary.
Here.
and Councilmember Hayward.
Here.
Very good.
Mr. Secretary, I got a text here from Melissa. Should I read it real quick? My iPad is having issues, so I will be unable to attend tonight's meeting. I don't have anyone else's contact information, so she wrote to me. Please convey my regrets to the council that I'm unable to attend, and didn't realize this until 3 minutes ago. This was at 5:10. My apologies as well.
All right. In lieu of Councilmember Finley not being able to attend tonight's meeting, our alternate will serve in her place, and that is Councilmember Zach Haywood. So he will be serving as a regular member this evening. Duly noted. Okay, item number 2, approval of the agenda. Everyone should have received the agenda. Are there any additions, deletions? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
I move that we approve the agenda.
We have a motion by Councilmember Hayward. Do we have a second? Second by Councilmember Lewis. Any further discussion? None? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Item number 3, approval of the July 2nd, 2026 meeting. And for the public's information, we were not able to do that meeting or have that meeting in a Zoom format, but we were able to, we weren't even able to record it.
I wasn't here.
So if there's anyone who is interested in the minutes from that evening, they will be posted after they're approved this evening. So the July 2nd, 2026 regular meeting minutes, everyone should have received a copy of it. Any additions, corrections? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilmember Everett. Do we have a second? Second by Councilmember Lewis. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I abstain because I was not here.
One abstention, Councilmember
Oh, me
Mayor.
too.
Oh, Councilmember Hayward.
I think we got it.
And you weren't here either, right?
Oh, I was here.
Fourth?
July 2nd?
July 2nd?
Took the notes, man.
Yeah, he was here.
It was so long ago.
I know, it's the fogs.
Okay, motion approved. Item number 4, you have 4 items of correspondence. Everyone should have received it. Are there any questions on that? Well, first, did everybody receive them?
Yes.
Okay, and are there any questions regarding any of them? Okay. Correspondence is taken care of. Item number 5, Deputy Chris McNally, could you please give us the Mendocino County Sheriff's report?
Can you guys hear me? Am I recording?
Oh, sorry. Let me drag it.
Trying to make sure we get this right. Okay. So I've got my stats for you guys.
Wait, can you say that again? No.
Yeah. There were 32 calls in Gualala in July. There were 5 welfare checks, 1 trespass call, 1 threats call, 2 theft reports, 1 suspicious circumstance reported, 2 pedestrian stops, 1 complaint of shooting in the area. In case anybody asks, it was somebody target shooting illegally on their own property and their neighbors were not pleased with them. So security check, 5 security checks in the area. Those are just like extra patrols that we do. We've talked about those before. 1 restraining order violation, 1 mental health assist, 1 juvenile problem, 1 follow-up report, 1 fraud case, 1 disturbance call, 1 coroner's report, 2 civil matters, 1 assault reported, and 4 of the 911 hangups via cell phone, which is very common this year because of pocket dials and that sort of thing.
All right. Any questions for Deputy McNally? Seeing none?
Wow.
I have a question.
That's the fastest we've ever gotten you out of here.
Oh, I think
thought I
Karen
heard
had a
somebody
question.
said a question.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Oh, but would you mind coming up to the
Yeah,
microphone?
so we could have it for our recording.
Thank you so much.
Oh, and please state your name.
Hi, my name is Jane Head, live in Gualala, and my question is about welfare checks and what that consists of.
All right.
There's not a specific answer for that. It depends on the type of situation. Sometimes it's the neighbors haven't seen their neighbor in a while. Sometimes it's a family member can't get a hold of somebody. Sometimes it's somebody who wants to remove contact from their neighbors and from everybody else. And so we normally just go check on them if we have a legal reason to contact them.
All right.
Okay. And how do you report that? Do you report that to the person that asked for the welfare check?
That also depends. If it's somebody who doesn't want contact with anybody,
Okay.
we check on them and they're fine. If they don't want us to talk, like say if you're the reporting party and they don't want you to know anything about them, you'll likely just get a call that says they're fine and they don't want contact from anybody.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
So it has nothing to do with a monetary check?
No, sir. It's like a health check or a wellness check on someone.
Okay, just trying to crack a joke there.
Oh, my apologies. It's been a long day.
Don't make it longer.
It's already gonna be a short meeting.
Any other questions from the audience? None?
I have a question.
I thought I heard something on.
Karen has a question. If we don't have anything more in the room.
No, go ahead.
Hi, this is Karen from the ICO. Could you offer more detail on the fraud case you mentioned?
On the fraud case?
I don't have any specifics on that case. It wasn't a case that I handled. I'm just giving the stats on what types of reports.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
All right. Anyone else online? Anyone in the audience? Anyone on the council? Seeing none? Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
guys.
you very much.
Thank you, Chris. Safe travels.
Well, that's a good sign that Ms. Elwood is
Able to dial
able to
in.
dial in.
Yeah.
So
Success.
we are.
Such as it is.
That is good
Good job,
news.
Henry.
You did it.
Sure, I did something.
Okay, item number 6, public comment. A maximum of 3 minutes is reserved for members of the public to address the Gualala Municipal Advisory Council on items not listed on the agenda, and the total time for public input on a particular issue is limited to 20 minutes. The council is prohibited from discussing or acting on matters not on the agenda, yet may respond briefly or ask a question for clarification. Anyone from the audience like to speak?
I think I'd like to take the opportunity.
Please state your name.
Hi, my name is Mark Escajeda. I'm board president of Redwood Coast Land Conservancy. We hear tell that there is a possibility of a roundabout being south of town. Does GMAC have any influence on whether that decision is made soon, or any information or any possibility of GMAC being involved in pushing for that safety addition to this, either the streetscape project or a follow-up project when that project is completed?
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you. Anyone else? Yes.
My name is Jane Head, and I don't know if anyone has brought this up before, but on Old Stage Road, there's a piece of property, they call it the Boathouse. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but I believe that the county spent a lot of money cleaning that property up. It's in the Gualala watershed, and there's so much garbage there being dumped again. It's an ongoing problem. There's no gate there. I don't know who owns the property. I don't know whether Mendocino County took it over because taxes weren't paid. but it's beginning to be another serious problem. They spent thousands and thousands, over $100,000 on cleaning it up the last time, and people are dumping illegally again. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yes, it's true. I've looked into it a little bit, just so you know. I can tell her about it if you want me to later on, or if you want to hear about it, I can. I know it's public expression, but it's being looked into, and it's gonna go to auction at some point with the county. And it'd be nice to see that finally resolved.
So I guess the question is, it's county property right now?
No,
No, but the county has all sorts of liens and encumbrances on it, and they're going to auction it off for all their expenses.
Okay. Thank you. Good. Thank you for that.
We know the address of that property?
Not right offhand. I can get it for you if you want, Karen.
hey Karen, as you drive up Old Stage, uphill from the transition from Old State Highway, it'll be on your right.
It's where the fire
And-
was.
Yeah, there was a fire in there. Anyway, it'll be on your right. The driveway kind of drops off below the elevation of the road, but it's just before a sharp right-hand turn.
Just across from Bodie.
What do you, under the?
Right, exactly.
So, there you go.
Across from what?
Bodie,
I can only hear people talking into the microphone, I'm sorry.
step back.
Bodie Lane, B-O-D-H-I.
Randy, Bodie Tree
Oh.
Lane.
It's Bodie Tree Lane, yes. And it's a real small sign that says Bodie Tree Lane, so it's on the opposite side of the street.
All right, thank you.
All right. Any other public comments? Hearing none, I'll close that and move on to our next item. Item 7.1, Coastal Development Permit 2024-0030, Chrisman. And Councilmember Everett and I have that assignment. Do you want me to start and you want to fill in?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. The original permit was filed on August 1st, 2024. The owner is Robert Chrisman. The address is 47,000 Iverson Point Road. The action before the council tonight is the CDP permit before us is to legitimize after-the-fact improvements to an existing single-family residence, including the residing of the house, a window replacement, a garage door replacement, a new water heater, security cameras, new septic covers, tree trimming, and removing of a dirt retaining wall, and finally, the installation of 9 cubic yards of gravel and sand over an existing driveway. I took a drive by the property, and everything that is reported here is completed. The application also includes grate removal, but the owner opted to trim the trees instead and does not require a major vegetation removal permit. Originally, it was filed to remove all the trees, clear the area, and the owner did not want to move forward with a major vegetation removal permit and decided just to trim the trees up. So this is just a paperwork item for the county to finalize what has already been completed on the property. Nicole, do you have anything you want to
Yeah,
add?
the only thing to add is that it was just in regards to the tree removal that they just limbed up from the ground to head height. So no, tree removal further, and I would move to approve.
Okay, we have a motion to approve CDP 2024.
Quick question.
Yes.
So of the stuff that was done that is now being requested to be approved retroactively, was there anything in that inventory of changes that would have otherwise run afoul of a normal review process?
No.
Not that I saw.
All right, I'll second the motion.
We have a motion by Councilmember Everett. We have a second by Councilmember Schbach. You have a question, Robert?
Color wasn't an issue? Okay.
Not on this one.
No.
but the one adjacent to, I don't remember what it was, okay.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions from council? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye to approve CDP 2024-0030.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. Nicole, would you like to write the letter to the county? Okay, excellent.
Certainly.
Would you send me a carbon so I can just keep a continuous record as
Yes.
secretary? Thank you.
You have a question?
I was just gonna ask Dave to make sure,
I gotta speak in?
Yeah.
All right.
thanks.
Residential, including interior remodeling, relocating an existing 64 square foot shed, installing a new 120 square foot shed, and changing the color of the exterior trim from turquoise to dark green. This is not a lot of work. They're not doing any vegetation stuff or anything like that. They have regraded the driveway over the past several years.
Sorry, can I interrupt just for 1 second? Just for the purpose of the recording. Sorry, we lost audio for a little bit there because we had internet problems, but we're back.
Okay, we're rolling. All right, good to go. It's not a big deal in this job. I think neither one of us is of the opinion that it's a major.
Yeah, they added the shed, you already mentioned that, right? The 120 square foot shed, which didn't require a permit. We saw some work there going on this past week, those that drive by that area, some re-roofing, maybe they got a building permit for that, I don't know. But my question last meeting was already, why does this even constitute a CDP? Well, it's because nobody in the past has actually notified the county about change of use. Mm-hmm. And so because it's gone back and forth between commercial and residential for years, I guess, or now that these owners felt real proper, I guess, or whatever, they wanted to let the county know what they were doing, it triggered the CDP. So, but my question kind of is, we're mixed use zoning in Gualala. So why does one even have to?
Yeah, the zoning on it is Gualala Highway mixed use.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my
So-
question.
And I know when they were selling the place, they were telling everybody it was zoned for either one.
Yeah, there's no problem according to the zoning, I don't think, with it being either residential or business or some of each, really. As such, the only thing else is the change of color of the exterior trim to Dunn Edwards Deep Pine, which I guess because it's in the coastal view corridor, requires some permitting and coast stuff. Anyway.
Which is funny because we certainly didn't get a permit for the last time the color changed.
Yeah.
No, but they did paint it consistent with the other buildings adjacent to it.
Like the white and blue is.
Yeah, it was the same
White
color
and
as
turquoise.
the restaurant down there that was.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess it is.
Well, because then
So-
the same guy owned all
Milo.
3 buildings at
And he
one time.
painted
and
them
he
all.
painted them all.
Yeah, he got carried away with that color scheme. Anyway,
So you established it should be an earth tone color, huh, that building?
I don't know if, I did not look up Dunn Edwards Deep Pine,
Sounds like it.
DEA 180.
Close enough.
but it's dark green.
Okay.
My recommendation would be to approve it.
Cool. Second that.
Do we have a movement? Well, we need a.
We have a
we need
motion
move-
by Councilmember Lewis, second by Councilmember Youngling.
Point of
Question?
order question. Yeah, so I mean, this is my, my neighborhood. I know the owners a little bit. We've chatted. I don't know if that's, I don't think that
Are you gonna
merits
have
like
a
any.
financial gain by
Not
this?
at all. Not at all.
Then if you're not, I don't.
It's just, this one's closer to home than the other one, so I wasn't.
What did he slip you, Henry?
Do you have a stake?
What'd you get?
Pine color?
Yeah,
Then I would
sorry, it's
say-
my paint. It's,
I would say, based on the fact you're not gonna have a financial gain by this decision, you're fine.
okay, great.
Okay, any other comments, discussion?
None.
Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
Thanks for the
You want me to
reviews,
write the
guys.
letter, Dan?
Huh?
You want me to write the letter, or
Can you send me a copy? Because I haven't done
all I'm
one
gonna do
yet.
is make a couple comments on the bottom, that's it, send it in?
Yeah,
Okay, I'll get you a copy, I'll get
thank you.
Thank you.
Dave a copy.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, moving right along. Old business, none. New business, no CDPs, huh?
Nothing for this month.
Wow.
Yeah, I would have sent it out, but yeah, there isn't anything.
All right,
For
so
us.
there's no new business. We move on to committee reports. Item 10.1, Power Park renovation. Lewis, Mayor, and Evans. So you want to jump off to, you've been in contact with the county?
I mean, I haven't been in contact with them much. I didn't get a particularly recent construction update. I think the biggest update is the one that you could probably speak more to because y'all were actually there, whereas I unfortunately missed that. So I don't know if you want to talk about what happened at the Board of Supervisors.
Good. You want to jump in or?
No, I think you should take it.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll speak,
You're
I'll
so welcome.
speak up.
Speak right here.
Before the Board of Supervisors at their July 21st meeting, there was an agenda item for public comment to award another $180,000 to the Bower Park renovation project. That money would be coming out of the county budget, so they are allocating money towards the project. The reason for it is to try and complete as many of the phase 2 items as possible. So that's good news for us. Board had a nice discussion. Councilmember Schbach spoke on behalf of another agency, and I spoke on behalf of GMAC supporting the item. We did have a couple questions for them that the board, one question they looked like deer in the headlights, and the other, they weren't quite sure of the full expanse of the phase 2 project. So we're trying to get from staff a list of the phase 2 items. Are they gonna be benches, or, is it gonna be upgraded the playground? Their report was somewhat general in sense. The question that we asked that the board was not able to answer at that time was, it was great, we're gonna be redoing the park, but there was nothing in their current approved budget for 26-27 to maintain the park. So they're gonna spend over almost $2.5 million to repair the park, and they don't have any plans on how to maintain it. So we could be back in the same boat in 10 years. So we're hoping that they will go back and talk amongst themselves and see what it will cost to maintain Bower Park and not let it decline like it had and then force shutdown in the future. But they did vote unanimously to award the money. So Bower Park project is moving forward and should be completed by fall, December?
This
Yeah.
fall.
Yeah. So that's very exciting for our community. Do you have anything else to add?
Just a slight adjustment. My understanding is that the $180,000 addition was sufficient to cover all of the features that were part of the so-called Phase 2 scope that had been advertised to the state as the project and that the state had funded, and that subsequently the Mendocino Coast Recreation and Park District had also funded to the tune of about $178,000. The correspondence between 178 and 180 is remarkably close, but at any rate, we trust the accounting is being done correctly, but it is the full project that had been pitched, both to the state and to the community, which is really great that we'll get all that. But to Kevin's point, somewhat awkwardly and uneasily, there's no assurance in the county's recently adopted capital budget that the park will be maintained. And that's a little bit weird. It's not just weird for us and the community. It'd be sad to see a repetition of bad behavior in the past, but it's also weird because when the county took the state's money, it promised to maintain the park in perpetuity. And we suspect that there will be some oversight on that issue, likely similar type of oversight that generated this particular action to make sure that the full project that the state bought into is funded. Anyway, as a member of the board of directors of the Mendocino Coast Recreation and Park District, I will continue to monitor this issue. Councilmember Hayward serves with me on a committee that we're both keeping our eyes on this one, and as needed, we'll report to you. We also expect, just by other news related to Bower Park, that the Coastal Recreation and Park District will pursue grant funding for a off-leash dog play area. That right past and just below the priority set that generated this project, the renovation project, the next thing down in the priority list, based on lots of input from the community, was an off-leash dog play area. So we're gonna go chase some more state park grant money for that on behalf of the community. Likely there will be public meetings associated with that. And again, we'll keep you apprised as that schedule firms up.
I have one note on the county committing to the state to maintain the park. I remember when I saw that in the grant language, I was delighted that the county was finally going to be on the hook for that. Sadly, I was informed at the time when I brought that up that the county had already taken on that obligation to the state in, I want to say 2008 or something like that. It's been a little while, so don't quote me on the date, but that they had already once before taken on that very same obligation and done nothing.
Right.
So that does not mean we should not hold them to their word, but it does mean that it's not self-enforcing.
Well, and you're right on that. One addition to it, which Councilmember Schbach mentioned, there is a resolution that the Board of Supervisors signed that in order for them to accept the $2.2 million, there is a bullet point there that says that they will maintain the park.
Yeah.
So I would suspect that if they default on that resolution, the state could come back to them and say, you've defaulted on the resolution, you now have to repay us the $2.2 million. So I think that that might be a good leverage point to say that that was an agreement signed and approved by the Board of Supervisors, that they will maintain the park, restore, well, two parts of that were really key. One is that they would supply additional funding to make sure all the repairs are completed as originally designed in the park project, and secondly was to maintain it. So I think there could be a question on that, but you're right. It's we just have to, as we do in GMAC, just stay on top of that and make sure that we're vigilant and can report back to the board on a timely manner.
Another change since the last grant under the Schwarzenegger administration is that the Mendocino Coast Recreation Park District is now paying a lot more attention to the entire service area. Yeah. All 77 miles of it in our neighborhood, certainly Bower Park. The district has expressed repeatedly to the county that the district is interested in partnering on the burden of operation and maintenance. We feel that district feels it's entirely within district mission to do so, and so the right type of work for that agency. There's just no simple conversation with the county, unfortunately, but we will continue to pursue that track of conversation, and ultimately, I believe we will solidify a role at the Recreation and Park District that will also help to ensure sufficient oversight and continuous funding. So we're bit by bit, the prospects for Bower Park are improving. That doesn't mean that we can turn our backs on it and think that, oh, it's taken care of. No, we just have to keep watching. At some point, we might be able to do that, but we don't have a track record yet to rely on.
Yeah, we can't let up at all, because the only reason, one of the biggest reasons that this project is even happening is because of community pressure for the county to use the 2.2 that was allocated in the first place. So the county has been forced to make this project happen, just like it basically needs to be forced to uphold its end of the bargain with the maintenance and helping with at least provide the, some of the funding for it. So that's one thing that's for sure about the county is you have to keep forward pressure from all angles.
And one last item is that I know Chris Rogers and his staff are intimately involved in the completion of the Bower project, so
yeah,
that's nice to have a state assemblyman who is vigilant on it and can report back directly to the state if anything is amiss. Robert?
And I would think Dave's getting on the Mendocino County Park and Recreation Board has helped bring, or you've helped make them have more attention to our area on the South Coast.
absolutely.
Great.
We'll continue to do that.
Good of you to do that.
Zach
Yeah.
and Dave, yeah.
Dave gets all the credit.
Some of it.
Dan?
Is there any sense that since the construction is going to go into, probably well into the 26, 27 budget period, that they may be considering that maintenance will come under construction until the construction is done?
There's going to be elements, there will be elements that will be covered by construction maintenance period.
Mm-hmm.
However, that's not all of the park.
No, I didn't.
So there's for example, making sure that the restrooms are clean, making sure the garbage is collected and removed, making sure that the grass is mowed.
Right.
There's quite a bit of lift there that's well outside of the bounds of the construction maintenance period. So that's frankly what we're looking for. It probably won't be the full cost because yes, a portion of it will be covered under construction maintenance, and that'll last about 6 months to 12 months, depending upon what the feature is. Landscaping will take up to 2 years to burn in. So we didn't expect to see a very large lift, but we have seen no commitment, and that's again requires additional oversight.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
I have one more question, maybe for Henry. Do you have, it looks really messy, like they're still basically tearing stuff up, and I was just curious if you had any update on semi-specifically where are they at, are they grading the basketball court, where are they at on the tennis court? I just see lots of piles of dirt, which is awesome, but I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, I don't have anything from the last month plus.
That's pretty much the same.
They had been, for a little while, they were uploading photos to a shared drive. They've not done that in a while. They were gonna do it weekly. That's not happening.
It's okay, they're doing stuff.
Nag them again. I will say, the frequency of my nags has dropped as they actually started doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And now I kind of.
It's funny how that works.
Yeah, yes. I guess the carrot is part of that. But I should get an update. I'll make sure I am armed with an update for our next meeting.
Sounds good, no worries.
All right. Any questions from the public?
Thank you.
Please state your name.
My name is Jane Head. I'm wondering if do all of the things at the park have to be completed before it's open? It's not open right now, is that correct?
Correct.
I mean, and is there a drop dead date when it's gonna be done? Cause it's been what, a year and a half now that it's been closed? I mean, we used to walk there every,
I think the problem that's holding them up right now, we'd like to say it'll be completed in December, but obviously, weather is a factor. So if they're not able to work in the park because of weather, then that adds a delay onto the project, so that could go into January. But they're hopeful right now that they're gonna get everything done and buttoned up, by December. And because it's a construction site and because of liability, they're not able to open up any individual section. They have to keep it all sealed off.
Yeah. And so we had asked them if they could do it in parts and have part of it open and then do work on the other side, and they were very reluctant to do anything like that. And I think part of that is, if it's open, it's kids, and it's harder to enforce that. And then, additional budget in terms of isolating and separating. And then in terms of the duration, I'm as the proud owner of a 6-year-old, I am just as sad at the, it's like a meaningful fraction of his life that the park has been closed.
Absolutely.
And even before this most recent closure, there was a long stretch of closure before. I do sort of understand how we got here, which was that the trees were genuinely hazardous, and so they shut it down first because the trees were hazardous, and then continued the shutdown while they actually dealt with the hazardous trees, and then went into the construction and the bidding process. We went through 2 failed bids before eventually finding a contractor that would make it work. So it is, I understand why, but trust me, I share your frustration with how long it's gone on.
I don't have as much time as your 6-year-old.
You're not trying hard enough.
I don't get to walk anymore.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Soon, I hope soon.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody online as far as public comment?
TV's off.
The networking, everything is fine except that we don't have access to that because that can't get on the network. So no, I don't. They can hear us, we can hear them, but
Okay, just can't see us.
exactly. Well, no, they can see us.
Oh,
We just can't see them.
see them?
Yeah,
Oh,
but they can still see us. They still got video.
I'll take it.
They could be making all kinds of remarks.
Okay, item 10.2.
I can see their
Caltrans,
video.
SR1 Gualala Downtown Streetscape Project. Robert?
We're still in acquisition, right?
Okay, just because our viewing audience can't see, Robert Youngling, our
No, they can
council
see.
member, they can see,
Yeah.
has recused himself from this item. He has stepped down from the dais, so Councilmember Spock and Mayor are assigned to the project. Councilmember Spock, you want to take the lead on that?
Unless Henry wants to kick in.
No, I mean, I'll respond on the traffic circle piece of it, but we can do the proper update first, and then I'll jump in on that.
Okay. All right, so this update is a result of a conversation that I had with the Caltrans project manager, Ms. Katie Everett, on the 22nd. The project was, met the milestone called ready to list. That means that all the construction documents and specifications and budgeting is all done. The listing step, however, was delayed and will be hopefully resolved as of August 20th, 21st, when the California Transportation Commission will complete their funding allocation. And part of that allocation is to combine 2 different funding sources, which have resulted in that delay, into a single budget that then can be expended efficiently for construction. Ms. Everett expects that construction will start based on that date and the likely timeframe for putting the project on the street and soliciting bids and reviewing and contracting, that the project would start in December and possibly slip into January. I think at this point, if we see anything in December, it's going to be some amount of mobilization. Probably won't break ground, because right about December, it's really tough to start disturbing the soil, because things will hopefully be a lot wetter. But what this means is that the project, as we've talked about, has changed from a 2 construction season project into a single construction season. So all that disruption, and there's gonna be a bit of it, will happen in 1 construction year, 2027. So along that line, another element that's important for us, because it's been discussed in the community, is that the Barrow Limited Partnership condemnation is proceeding. Barrow Limited Partnership owns many of the parcels fronting and underneath the highway. That owner has decided to be an unwilling seller and is thus forcing the state through formal condemnation. It takes time and effort, but part of that proceeding is to send notices not just to the landowner but also to tenants, and a big wave of those notices went out within the last couple of months, generating some confusion. Bottom line is that, again, it's a normal part of the formal condemnation process for notice to go to tenants. Those notices inform the tenants about the expected project, rough timeframe, and the types of disruption that could occur. You can't cut any corners on what could occur. What's very likely is that Caltrans has become extremely sensitized to disrupting business and disrupting owner as well as tenant access. And Ms. Everett says that Caltrans is committed to doing everything it can to minimize access disruption, to be very sensitive to particular uses such as the preschool or the farmer's market that are either vulnerable road users or really dependent upon seasonal access. We'll just have to keep, again, our eyes on it as it moves forward. I would expect, based on current Caltrans practice in urbanized areas, that the contractor will be required to continue to inform the public on some routine basis about how things are moving, where staging is occurring, perhaps even construction sequencing. But one way or the other, we're going to see it happening. One way or the other. So that's the one other update is that I asked Ms. Everett to consider, given that this, at some point, the project is going to become much more publicly visible, and asked her to consider what might be the next milestone where she might be able to provide, using this venue, an update to the community about what's next, what's happening and what's next. She said the August 20 milestone with the full funding allocation by the Transportation Commission was probably a good one that would generate a very more than less tangible forecast for scheduling. We're negotiating with her about when she might be able to present here. September just was a possibility. It may not work out, so we're leaning on her to come have a talk at us in October at our regular meeting. We'll do our best to, again, give Karen Elowit at the ICO an early heads up and promote the presentation as well as we can in the community in advance. So it's good to know they're coming. Any other stuff?
Thanks, that was great. And then this seems a good opportunity to respond on the traffic circle. We pushed for that to be part of the streetscape project in the earlier phase of planning it. We were told that was out of scope of the project boundary, and also quite expensive, and that it was just not going to make it into the project. But I was quite pleased to see it come back up as a possibility, and I think that'll be the subject of continuing conversations with Caltrans. I know in the past, this group, while the composition has changed a little bit since that time, was, I think, quite strongly in favor of that feature being added as a traffic calming measure coming into town that would be a lot more natural and effective than a flashing sign. So I'm hopeful. I'm glad to see it's back on Caltrans' radar, but it's not going to make it into this project.
Didn't a study come out recently?
I'll talk about that as part of the
yeah, that's because that's probably
the local coastal program update. And
that's who did it, right? Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Any public comments? Please state your name.
Mark Escajeda. Thank you for your response about the roundabout. Redwood Coast Land Conservancy has to move visitors from one side of Highway 1 to the other. And a traffic circle at that location would address this specifically and safely. Councilmember Schbach has background information on the troubles that RCLC is encountering. Any support we can provide, please ask.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Randy Burke. 3 questions. Has there been an engineer's estimate on the cost of the project as it stands now?
On the roundabout you're talking about?
No,
or
on
the total
on the
project?
downtown streetscape plan. Have they said anything?
Yes.
What is it, 45 mil?
No. The project, again, I don't have the exact number memorized, my apology.
But they have one out.
Well, of course, it's running, I think the Active Transportation Program grant, which is the primary money, is under 10 million.
Oh, okay.
It's somewhere in the 9s.
Have they put it out?
And there's
to
an
bid?
additional, not yet, the project is ready to go out to bid, but again, the California Transportation Commission has to fully fund the project before the project can go out for solicitation.
Gotcha.
There's another component, which is a left turn lane at Ocean. So as you're heading southbound, that left turn lane to get into the Ocean Drive up toward RCMS safely. That's an additional increment. I don't have that number memorized, my apologies.
But it's a turn pocket.
It's a turn pocket. So that pushes the number up a little bit. It's somewhere in the $10 million.
Thank you. Last one is, there was a public notice in the ICO about 3 weeks ago regarding an addition to the emergency permit of the installation of the 8-foot pipe that went in down China Gulch. And it said extension to this coastal development permit, and it basically said replacing a 5-foot pipe with an 8-foot pipe. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah.
Where is that?
The China Gulch project?
Yeah.
So at the intersection of State Route 1 and Old State Highway, you remember last February, there was a sinkhole.
Sure.
To drop
I
out.
found it, yeah.
Thank you. Good job, better you than me.
Me and the fire department, yeah.
Yeah, so the project that Caltrans did down there with the crane and all this stuff, that was replacing that old culvert, which was the original from the mid-50s, which had collapsed, with a new, I guess, 8-foot diameter
8-foot diameter.
culvert with a fish climbing feature in the trough of it. That's completed. So what you see out there now is the remnants of erosion control and revegetation and improvements that are designed to facilitate recreational access that were done in coordination with the Redwood Coast Land Conservancy. So Caltrans was able to not just replace a failing culvert and maintain that rather crucial link and the embankment across China Gulch. They were able to do it in ways that improve fish passage, improve the aquatic habitat on the outlet side. So there's heavy woody debris that's been installed that will provide habitat and refuge for juvenile and other salmonids that happen to get in there and hang out. And lots of terrestrial revegetation to stabilize and also improve the habitat available to native species. They will be watching that project for quite some time. All that vegetation work and the in-stream work requires quite a bit of diligence. They'll be on the hook for fairly active oversight for at least 5 years.
So that's what that public notice was about, was an extension basically on the emergency permit.
Yeah, the Caltrans had to move fast because that embankment was at risk. So that was an emergency project under direction of the department director from Sacramento. There wasn't time to get a full CDP, so they got an emergency coastal development permit. And so the permit that was recently processed was the closure, the back end, to formalize that emergency project.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Had me scared. I didn't know where there was another pipe gonna go.
No. No, but if you haven't walked down in there, it's pretty
Oh,
cool
it's
to
fantastic.
check it out.
They did a nice job.
They did.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Any other comments from the public? Henry, any comment?
Oh, I'm just raising the mic.
Anybody online?
Nope.
Any questions from the council? Excellent report.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome back, Robert. Okay, item 10.3, the local coastal program and town plan update. Councilmember Spot.
Okay, thank you. Most of this update is a result of the Grassroots Institute webinar that was held on the 16th. Go back to my notes here. But I will speak just briefly on the State Route 1 roundabout concept. So as part of that local coastal program update, I don't know if you guys are following it, but it's time for you to follow it. Go to the Mendocino County website. There's an entire set of pages related to the local coastal program update. There are a number of technical studies that are part of it, crucial to that local coastal program work. One of them is an evaluation of State Route 1 operations and travel capacity. That report, the final report, is done and published. And what that report includes, related to your question, Mr. Escajeda, is that Dr. Escajeda, thank you.
I've never been able to say that before, thank you.
It's a pleasure to use the correct attribute. So Dr. Escajeda, that report, which you'll find, it's voluminous, of course, as necessarily, but the discussion related to State Route 1 in Gualala recognizes that a mini roundabout at that intersection would be well advised for a number of reasons. Since Caltrans previously considered a roundabout there as part of the Streetscape project, there have been a number of important, really kind of foundational changes in the policy framework related to travel and traffic safety. Previously, Caltrans' response to a roundabout at that location is that there were not sufficient collision warrants to make that investment, and that's great. We don't have enough deaths or serious injuries to warrant, under previous frameworks, that kind of an investment. That intersection functions adequately under that motorist-oriented motor vehicle travel way of looking at the world. Those rules are changing, and so the SR1, State Route 1 analysis that was done for the local coastal program update has brought in some of these new ways of looking at highway utilization that is much more sensitive to all modes on the highway, particularly in places there you have fairly active concentrations of multimodal travel like the Village. So that report, and it's worth taking a look at, find your way through it. I know you like a good research project. The recommendation takes into better account that this is an area with fairly active pedestrian and recreational use. It's an area where the state really depends upon the China Gulch as a link for the coastal trail, where there are adjacent land uses that are really powerfully recreation oriented, and that people will be in the future moving around in the area outside of their motor vehicles, and that furthermore, the downtown streetscape depends essentially on 25-mile-an-hour speed limit, and that one of the other new frameworks within the state highway safety program is to look to the infrastructure to self-moderate behavior. It isn't just about signage. It isn't just about having an active radar prompt that tells the motorist what their speed is. It's about changing the physical plant itself that encourages all users to behave appropriately, and that recognizes that people make mistakes. They don't necessarily know where they are. They're having capacity issues. They don't understand who's on the road. So that a roundabout is now being viewed, a mini roundabout that could fit within the available space, not a fully implemented one, would be a better approach to making sure that everybody moving through that location has a greater chance of safety than not. So that's the long story, but it's a longer one if you go read the book. It's not in budget right now. However, this document and the local coastal program update that will perfect it will be essentially the planting the flag for this investment. So it's up to all of us, if we're interested in that feature, to look for every opportunity to make sure that it's embedded explicitly in the plans that are in front of us, And then future plans that are dependent upon these plans, and eventually, such as the Regional Transportation Program plan, which will come up next in 2 to 5 years. And that's the primary funding vehicle. So, all good story, but it's gonna take a little while. We just gotta keep pushing it.
100 years.
No, it'll be
No,
faster.
I'm saying, that's my timeline for the work that I'm on.
100
Right.
years?
If you could, if you've got more, if you could speak into the mic, sorry for our listeners.
Mark Escajeda, Councilmember Schbach, the work that we do at Redwood Coast Land Conservancy is on a 100-year rotation, so we'll take a gander at this report. And actually, to both of you, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, other elements of the local coastal program update that were also discussed at the GRI Institute on the 16th included, I'll get through these quicker. There's the sea level rise resiliency technical studies. There's now a final report on asset exposure. That'd be an interesting piece of work that's also on the website. Next for sea level rise resiliency will be policy development, which is essentially planning for impact response and trying to anticipate impacts in ways that are more strategic. That step, I am told by the ex community development director, recently departed Julia Krog, is that that will involve some public engagement. She did not give me a schedule for that work. However, there are a set of baseline policies that are being developed and have been reviewed by the Coastal Commission that were scheduled to go to the Planning Commission in August and will go to the Board of Supervisors in September. I don't have specific dates. So if you're interested in following that content, you'd have to go to both of those bodies and monitor their agendas. But otherwise, most of the technical studies are done. The groundwater work is completed. And biological resources is pending. The visual resources and archaeological resources are those technical studies are substantially done and available for review. Okay, what else here? The architecture for policy development for the local coastal program is, to me, quite sensible. The plan will likely be based on a subgeography instead of looking at the entire 100-mile coast. The county will break it up into a north region, a central region, and a south region. Makes a lot of sense to do that because the issues do differentiate, and those will be much more accessible for the communities to participate in. Again, I don't have more details about schedule. As I get them, I'll share them with you. That's my update there.
Any questions? Hearing none. Any from the public? Anybody online? All right. Thank you. Yes.
Not regarding that. Not regarding that particular.
So then what is it regarding? Is it kind of a general comment?
Yeah.
Okay, why don't we go ahead and add that under item 12 when we get the council member comments and all that. We can open it up for public comment. Economic development, Ms. Everett, Mr. Youngling, do you have anything to say?
I think I said last meeting to you and to Nicole that I would try to get a hold of Sonoma County Tourism, and I didn't get around to it. So I will still pursue a conversation with them down there at some point, see if they can get back into helping our southern Mendocino County coastline here. I haven't anything else otherwise.
And then I just have a minor update. I have been in contact with Jamie Connolly with Visit Mendocino. We will be either doing a Zoom next week or she'll be at the South Coast in the next couple of weeks. So Once I do connect with her, I will report back on, you know, any information that I gather.
Excellent. Any questions from the council? Any questions from the public? Anybody online? No. Okay, moving on to item 10.5, the heavy topic of the night, website, social media, telecommunications, and community broadband access.
Let me call that out.
I think we need to add some more words to
We
that.
want to end on a high note, right?
At some point, we should change the name of this committee. Anyway,
You
the
get
only
to-
update
you
I
get to
have.
pick it.
The only update I have is that sadly I blanked for a little while on sending Don an invoice template for the speakers. I have since done so, but he hasn't gotten back to me with his confirmation and signature. So I'm afraid I don't have that for you yet. I still have I've got the the quotes from the other, consumer vendors, but they're much higher than the ones we already have. So as soon as I get that from Don, I'll get that to you, and I'll ping him and make sure we get that for the next meeting.
Cool.
Okay, not a problem.
Zach, do you have anything to add?
Despite me failing to cover for Henry last month, I made up for it by using my hotspot for this meeting today.
Well done.
That's my contribution.
That failed completely as well. That's why that screen's not working. I'm on the
Oh, it came back
building
up?
Wi-Fi, yeah, but I can't
Sick.
get that on it. So
Well, then
I'll
I'm
deal
just
with
a
that
complete
after.
failure.
Hey, it worked for a while.
There you go.
You got us like a good third of the meeting at least.
Welcome.
You tried.
Okay, item number 11, treasury report. Do you have anything, Dan?
Nothing.
Okay.
Done.
Wow. Not quite. We're looking. Okay, we'll go ahead. This is an item for council member comments. I'm going to open it up for public comment. So do you have your item you want to talk about?
Come on up.
Come on up.
My name is Jane Head, and I'm not sure, I know what I want to talk about. It's about garbage illegally dumped, not just at the property that I was talking about earlier, but all over the roads. I mean, we have this beautiful, incredible place that we live, and people dump. And I don't know what GMAC, what they could do about it, if anything. But there is one car that's been sitting by Gualala Arts now for at least 2 months. It used to be a pretty good-looking car, and now it's been stripped of everything, and pieces have been left all over the place. That whole area right there is a dump area between Gualala, Old Stage Road, and that little bypass. I often clean it up. I know the Lions Club clean it up, but there is so much illegal dumping here in this area, and I would be happy to go on a cleanup crew, but I don't know if that's something that, if that should be privately organized, or whether that's something that GMAC could address, but it really hurts my heart to see this place be so disabused. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just a brief response, if I could, regarding that car. CHP knows about it, the county knows about it. It takes a bit of time. Eventually, it will be removed. It's expensive and time-consuming.
Is that a county road, that little cross road in there? I thought it was.
Yeah, I don't know what the number is, but it is public right away.
Good.
So my name is Jane Hill. I'll finish my comment. The AIR, Art in the Redwoods, is about to start next week. It's the biggest tourist drawing thing we have, and that car is there. It's not a good look.
It's also a good parking spot.
It's a great parking spot, and now it's taking 2 parking spots.
Yeah,
Thank you.
okay. Council comments.
Well, sorry, there was, Karen chimed in the chat and said there was a community cleanup recently at Fish Rock Road. So I don't know under whose auspices that happened, but it would.
Yeah, there's a popular dump spot there.
I don't remember what organizations came together either, but you can look it up in the ICO.
I can let you know. My name is Helen Pataki. I'm the executive director of RCLC, the new one. And that happened just after I started. It was an effort done by the kayak owner, Effie, as well as RCLC, and then the waste company, CNS Waste, took the waste for free. So it was a community effort. It wasn't really exactly our area of stewardship there, but had been raised, and we thought it was a good community effort. It did about 10 to 12 people came just that day. The help, I can't remember, it was in the ICO how many truck loads that we took out from there, but there was quite a lot back there. There were washing machines and dirty mattresses and dumped things, and I think next time probably need to wear a mask and gloves. But I will say, me having been here, I've already been approached 3 or 4 times about more cleanups. Mark said the same thing. Other board members have been approached. So I think that there is interest in trying to clean up this area if it would be organized. It's not really the RCLC's main area of stewardship, unless we're talking about Mill Bend or other areas. But certainly there's an interest in this town to look at some of these cleanup efforts.
I would also say too, if you're planning on doing something like that, contact the Lions Club.
Okay.
They would be happy to probably partner with you on that, in that cleanup.
Okay.
And actually, there's a lot of people in the community that are really helpful in those kind of projects, so.
Yeah, other people, including the boathouse, people have offered areas for us to clean up, but it was kind of that time. I mean, maybe next year we'll talk about another one, but I think this year we might not be able to.
Well, and I know the people who do the bluff monitoring on the Bluff Trail, of which I'm a part, we sweep that trail a couple times a week on kind of a rotating basis, and I bet that would also be a group where there would be a number of people who were interested in doing cleanup elsewhere as well, myself.
So the Bluff Trail is one of the areas that we steward. It's one of the areas that we are responsible for. So those are volunteers that are working with RCLC.
Oh, I just know it as Mary Sue Inters.
Yeah, so Mary Sue and Bob is on our board. Bob Rich
Yeah,
Muller is
okay.
on our board of directors, one of the founding members of RCLC. We also do clean and maintain the stairs at Cooks Beach, at Hearn Gulch. We monitor. And so those are some of the areas that we're in. So that is one of our areas.
Okay, great.
And so, and we do have great volunteers. And I think there is a lot of spirit of volunteerism in this community, but it's also a matter of organizing it. So,
yeah.
And looking at the different sites. But it was quite, I would say there may be some, having looked at it from an organizing point of view, it is, I don't know what kind of levels of dirtiness it is, but it is stuff that's laid out there. You're not quite sure what it is, and you pick it up and it kind of has like a dust plume. I think there are probably a little bit of safety concerns there that at least people would have to be provided with masks if someone's organizing it. That would be my advice right off the bat. Thank you, and thank you for your service on the Bluff.
Oh, it's very, very, very small, just an occasional thing, but thank you.
Randy Burke again. I have to give a shout out to Bottle Bank. I haven't done any statistical mean on it, but Jane and I used to take my trailer down Old Stage Road. This is until the Rotary and the Lions started cleaning it up. But then even then we would take it and we had to deal with somebody who let us put the materials in a dumpster. So once these guys showed up, once Oscar showed up down here with his truck, which is going to put in, they're talking about putting in a container machine where you can drop it off and he won't be there anymore. I have seen the bottles and the cans stop. We do get some overage from the garbage trucks, the refuse trucks going up and down. That's manageable. I mean, you can pick up a box, okay, but seeing just piles and piles of things there. And I've been down there and certain people have come down and they didn't even know he existed and they've given him bottles and they don't even want to get involved in the program, but they have a place to bring their stuff from the parties. And I just think it's a fantastic little service down there. I want to give a real good shout out. And I try to tell everybody about it. what are you talking about? Well, you go down, you get a bag, you get a QR code, you get an account, and they pay you back for the money that you spent at Chucky's and at Surf. So I really like those guys. So thank you.
Yeah, they're great.
Thanks.
All right. Anybody online?
Not seeing anything.
Okay, anything from the council? Okay, I have one item, and I have to give full disclosure here. I did write a communication to the Board of Supervisors and copied staff regarding roads. And it was based on a comment made by the Board of Supervisors that for the past 5 years, the majority of road repairs have taken place in the 5th District. With the exception being District 4, which I question that. And so I did send a communication to the county, to our supervisors, and also to the CEO, asking some very specific questions about the roads here on the South Coast, because I don't feel that we're getting an equal share of the road repairs. So I sent a communication saying I was the chair of GMAC and that I would like to make a presentation to the council at our next regular meeting, which Howard DeShield did send me a response. So I would like to share that with you to make sure that everyone knows. Couple quick items. He indicates that when the 20-year plan was done, the 5th District had 40% of the road system and key regional connections. He listed Canonge, Ukiah, Ore Springs Road, Mountain View Road, Flynn Creek Road. When I asked him what he had done and accomplished on the South Coast, because I want to be more specific because of our sphere of influence, he said in 2010, the county received a federal ARRA funding for projects, and that the county used most of the money to repair in 2010 18.24 miles in the sphere of GMAC and the Point Arena area. So I asked for a list. I'm sure you'll find these roads familiar, but once again, as I bring this up, they were last maintained in 2010 and they're not scheduled to be maintained within the current 20-year plan. Old Coast Highway was 0.29 miles. Can't even imagine what that is. Don't blink. Forest View had some repairs. Ore's Place had a few. Ore's Roost had a few. Arena Circle, Arena Court, one that's within our sphere of influence, 1.4 miles. Pacific Woods, Moonrise Drive, Stargaze, Ocean Ridge, Ocean View, Mountain View Road, which was about a 5-mile project. No. Eureka Hill Road, which is a little over 1 mile. I think that was probably to the dump. No, that's Fish Rock. Old Stage Road, Eureka's to the old air base.
Yeah, it's not in GMAC.
That's where the snow is.
Old Stage Road was 3 miles. I'm not sure on that. And the last two were Bristol Road, Barnacle Drive, Windy Hollow, that's not within our sphere of influence either, and Curly Lane. Anyway, all those were completed in 2010, and they're not set to be completed again. One of my biggest concerns that has been ongoing for a few years now is I don't see Iverson and I don't see 10-mile cutoff on any of those. And those roads were last maintained in 2001 and are not scheduled to be maintained until 2037. industry standards right now calls for heavily traveled roads to be done in every 15 years, and regular traveled roads are every 20 years, so we're falling behind. The county has not, they don't have any funds to repair our roads, which is a shame. But I wanted to let you know that they don't have anything currently. They don't have the funding for it. And at the board meeting, the tax measure to add a 1% or 1 cent sales tax countywide to all of the unincorporated areas failed on a 3-2 vote to help bring about $5.5 million to repair our roads. So that's where we're at. The other question I posed to them is, for those of you that have been around for a while, the Point Arena Yard used to have 9 employees working it. They have 3 now. That went up because they were operating on 2 for a while. And then, you're right, I just heard recently that they have 3, and the state requirement is that you have 2 flaggers. So that means there's only 1 guy doing the actual work. I got a response from the county. They said that they actually have 6 people assigned to the yard, but they're based out of Boonville. So,
It's gonna be nice.
yeah. Anyway, but GMAC is trying to stay on top of our road situation here. Keep the public informed, let you know. If you do find any roads, obviously we saw the road repair from Tickle Pink to Friendly, which was a major road job.
I have a
But
friend that lives
yes,
behind that, and that's the one road, power road that he never travels. He's either coming down from the south or.
It's gotta change his route, Zach.
but anyway, so the reason I bring this up is to let the public know that GMAC is staying on top of the roads here on the South Coast and want to make sure that we get an equal distribution of funds, especially for our critical roads like Iverson and 10 Mile and Old Stage, because in the case of an emergency, and as we saw with the fire down in Timber Cove, Highway 1 can be shut down quickly, and that's the only emergency access road is the ridge route. And if it's impassable because of the condition of the roads, then we're all gonna be in trouble. So we'll stay on top of that, and to everybody in the public, if you see any roads that need repair, let us know, and we'll be happy to forward that information to the county and to the Department of Transportation and see what we can get fixed.
Make a comment?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for your rundown on that, Kevin. When I heard that they were down to 3, I didn't pay much attention to it until I was driving up by Bower Park, and here they have their dump truck, and they use cutback, which is temporary asphalt. And they got a guy with a stop sign and a shovel, and he's shoveling the truck. And then the other guys are tamping it down. And there's no,
Yeah.
and that's a 50 up there if children aren't present, right?
Right.
So, okay. But I find that they keep Fish Rock up into really good shape.
They do.
I drove it the other day, and Zini's and those folks up there, they have a nice road.
Yeah.
So it takes you an hour and 20 minutes to get to Boonville, but some conservancy group, and I don't know who it is, has gone in and leveled a whole bunch of the understory and a lot of the trees. I didn't know what road I was on. I used to drive that road all the time.
Yeah, it used to be real bad.
But it's bladed out perfectly. There's one place where there's washboards. You got to be a little careful, but I'm telling you, it's a really nice road. But that getting down to 3, that's hard. I've got a drainage problem behind my house with Gualala Court that I've been quote unquote fighting with the county on, and I can't get anywhere. Williams helped me out a little bit, and Dalshill, he got mad at me because I cussed at him. And I've offered to pro bono fix it if they'll bring me the materials and help me engineer this drainage and stuff on the court. Crickets. So when we had our last, 2 years ago, the big storm, FEMA came by. And I said, well, I'll just take care of it myself. So 3 o'clock in the morning, we've had 6 inches of rain during the day, it's pouring down at night, I go up there and I clean that grate off with a pitchfork, and usually somebody comes and talks to me, but I never see them again. So it's just incumbent upon me. The problem that I have is if I ever decide to sell or I get carried out here on the helicopter, who's gonna take care of that? And they're gonna have a flood situation. It's kind of hard to deal with it. And I understand the frustration that you've had in just trying to talk to Dalshill. It can be very frustrating. But thank you very much for your efforts on that.
Can you send me an email on that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get your email address from Craddy. How's that?
Okay. Yeah, because we have a good open communication right now. They're actually responding to our emails. So I want to parlay that into getting some help down here.
Well, I got a little help from Julia Krog for a while, and then it got quiet. Then it got real quiet, and then she's gone. So.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any other questions from Henry?
Well, I just have one. You said that the unincorporated, the 1 cent sales tax and unincorporated Mendocino failed on a 3-2 vote. I just wanted to clarify, that was 3 in favor, right? And
Yes.
2 against. It just needed 4 in favor, but it
Correct.
wasn't 3 against. It was 3 in favor,
No,
but
it was,
that
it was
wasn't enough.
3-2 yes vote, but
Yeah.
it took 4 to pass.
Yeah.
Correct. Dan?
I just want to remark, sorry, I'm a loss to this community, Donna Bishop.
Yeah.
She ran the farmer's market for a decade and more. She's a herbalist and a community member. Her family's been here since the 40s, I think, and it's a real loss.
Okay. Then I will entertain a motion to adjourn in memory of Donna Bishop.
So moved.
We have a motion, do we have a second? Second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? We're adjourned at 7:29 in honor and memory of Donna Bishop. Thank you for coming.
Thanks, everybody.